8:40 a.m. on this Friday morning, May 1st, 2026. And because this is the month of May, which is my birth month, it is my responsibility this year to renew my driver's license at or through our local Michigan Secretary of State, which for some of you otherwise might be known as the Department of Motor Vehicles, aka the DMV. Now this has gotten really ridiculous here in Michigan because it's one thing to have a driver's license, but then they came about with this Real ID, which was actually the last time that I actually had to renew my license with a new photograph, or mugshot if you will. And that's been quite a few years back. In fact, right around the time of the rollout of the Real ID. In fact, the last time that I was at the Secretary of State's office in order to renew my license during this period of time of the rollout of the Real ID, I walk in, and when it was my turn to approach the counter, one of the staff members behind the counter politely asked me for my birth certificate. I looked at her and I said, "No." "Oh, you don't have your birth certificate?" I said, "No." "So you're not being compliant with the Real ID?" I said, "No, I am not. And here's the reason why." And this went over like a lead balloon when I looked at her and I said, look, I have no plans on flying. I have nowhere to fly to. And furthermore, I have no business in any federal buildings, and I don't plan on flying any airplanes into any federal buildings. Man, did she stare me down with one evil, wicked look. Like, oh, how could you? No, I'm not compliant. So I don't have a Real ID because I did not show my birth certificate. Which to me is just ridiculous anyways. Because once again, now I'll go ahead and repeat this. They expect you to have a license to board an airplane. It should be a pilot's license, right? And not this fraudulent Real ID just so you can fly an airplane or go into a federal building. How asinine was that to ever roll out? Well, now Michigan, the state of Michigan, has gone one step further to where they want you to go digital with your ID, download an app, and, well, if you want more information on this nonsense, go ahead and click on that link in the description below. This is ludicrous, asinine, over the top, biometrics. So you have to ask yourself these days, why is it that the government wants all of your information, all of your data, everything about you, your children, your family, etc., etc.? Isn't all your information already out there? Why do they want to continue to compile just that much more? Oh, so we can be held accountable because of the failures of this government and a possible uprising scenario in the future? Is that why they need all of our biometric data? Because the government views the common people as criminals below their standards, right? And now they just want you to comply with that much more. And here in Michigan, compliancy factors are beginning to drop. And this is another issue over compliancy. And that's all it is. Because, after all, it's all about control, control, control. And that's all we're seeing today. It's control measures. And that's all that ever has been throughout history is control, control, control. There is no freedom. I don't care how this country spouts off about freedom. We probably have more laws in this country, which has only been around for 250 years, according to the false narratives of this government. And that 250-year anniversary, yeah, whatever. Celebrating what? Freedom? Liberty? Justice? Nope. Those are false narratives, people. Get a grip. It's all about control. So it's time for me to renew my driver's license. Not my real ID, and definitely not a digital ID. Check out that link or the video through the link in the description. Yeah, the state is just nonsense. People, think before you comply. That's all I can say. Other than to once again click on the link below. See the nonsense that's going on here over IDs. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget about voter IDs, right? Psh, whatever. I don't vote. I never have voted. And I won't vote. Because I am awake to the realities of this country, this government, its histories, its nonsense, and all of the control measures. It's going to get worse, people. Yeah, that iron hammer is already on the downswing. Are you going to be controlled? Are you going to be compliant? Do it only if it works for you. But if it's not beneficial for you, think twice. Skyways out.